What's up, guys? This is Wishbone8121, and this is Wishcraft. Welcome, welcome. So as you can see here, it's the, well, as you can hear, this is the beautiful sounds of piglins, zombified piglins dying. This is my gold farm that I've been talking about, pretty much every episode about how cool it is. And this is it running, and it is running very fast. So you can see there's lots of piglins up there. They kind of just push themselves into this little hole, and they die in this trident killer. This is, well, yeah, actually, we're going to turn this off because I've been AFKing for 12 hours, and I'm pretty sure that's as much as my storage system can take. So we'll look at how much gold we get from 12 hours of this. Anyway, I'm just going to run this trident killer a little bit longer to kill the rest of these piglins, and then we will check things out. Just so you know, this trident killer is Silentwhisperer's design. It's his advanced trident killer, except I changed something because after I put this in, it stopped working properly. The items will no longer flow out of this like in a river kind of thing. So I put in my own system underneath for collecting items. And here, let's look at this real quick. As you can see, boom. This is the system here. There's two main components to this. I do have to give credit to JC for his video shows the components. The first one, this is just here. Actually, I'm gonna cut back. I'm gonna go make a date. Actually, here, I carry a bed on me at all times in my gearbox, so I'll just put this down here. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make an actual gold farm, not like those sissy versions that are online here. All right, so as you can see, I do have 6 portals. However, I have this one turned off because my realm can't handle 6 running at once. If I use 6 portals, the tick speed will go down, and then the trident killer will go too slow, and piglins will back up. So I'll just explain to you how this stuff works. Basically, these buttons here on the glass and to either side catch the water. The water is coming out of these dispensers. So every time the dispenser receives power, it chucks the water out, and then the second time it receives power, it pulls the water back in. So that breaks the portals every second tick, basically, or I don't know exactly how many ticks it takes for dispensers. Maybe it's every 8 ticks, since I think they have like a 4 tick delay or whatever. Now this is the hopper clock right there, those 2 observers. So when I power this line, that is the lever that's down at my AFK spot, it pushes this lever, this observer next to that one, and then they become an observer clock, and then these things get constantly broken, and then the water comes back in so that the portals can relight. Let's look at now I'll show you the top here. All right, so here at the top, basically this is just solid blocks, and then below this lava there's observers. There's an observer clock right here where 2 observers are facing each other, and then underneath the lava at these 4 points are observers that are looking at the observer clock so that they keep kind of constantly getting updated. Now what this does is that because these observers are part of a clock, like these 2 are constantly looking at each other and being like, oh, tick, 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 and these all hear the ticking. They watch the ticking, and so they're all ticking too. Is that this lava is constantly getting updated, kind of like how flowing water gets updated, and then it can flow a different direction if you move a block or something. Well, what that does is that the lava will try to light things on fire. And then you can't see it, but directly underneath these blocks right here, the ones I'm standing on, and on the other side, there's trapdoors that are placed on the block below, and then they're opened so that they're touching, you can see them right there, yeah. They're placed on the block below it, and then they're like that, and then you just open them like this. So then every tick, the lava gets updated. It tries to light these on fire, and because they're surrounded by blocks, the only place that the fire can go is inside of where the portal is, which actually lights the portal up. So basically these portals light up every single tick. So I'll drop back down. And JC has that in his gold farm, his little gold farm, which, you know, is kind of puny, but, you know, it works. And, well, I think that is the components you need to know in order to run your own gold farm as far as the actual farm goes. Like I said, if you don't know how these platform works, you basically just make a corner with water on top. This one right here is not a water source. If you make this a water source, it turns the whole thing into a big lake because it makes an infinite water source. So these blocks in the corners, these are not water sources. Everything else on the side is a water source. So that's how these work. Just ignore that corner. I had to do something special because I was not paying attention to where my where all my stuff was. So you can ignore that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So again, not a water source. Water source, and of course one in the corner, and boom, boom, boom. And then dropping down, you just make sure that when you go down, the number of squares from the side, the drop-off point to the center, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the water will all stop. It'll flow perfectly into the kill chamber. And I put the buttons there too because supposedly they think it's full blocks so that they'll jump down a little bit easier. But as you can tell from the beginning of this, they pretty much pile up and then push each other in. Alright, so then I'll show you what's underneath this. Like I said, this is Silentwhisperer's advanced kill chamber, or advanced kill chamber, except advanced trident killer. Except I switched this back to just one tick because I don't need the items to escape it. I have a different thing underneath. So I will break this out. I'll show you what's underneath. So basically in all four corners, I built this part, by the way, when I thought I was going to put like 10 portals. So I was going to make this like retardedly fast. But apparently 5 is the only thing I can do. So at each corner I do have these hopper mine carts. So it can pull items through the floor. Since they can pull through a whole block. You will only need 2 of these for 5 portals. So I have 4, but 4 is not necessary. 2 is enough. And then as long as they're both under 4 hoppers, 8 times. I think you need like 6 times hopper speed to run this farm. But definitely 8 you could do pretty easily, and then that would be pretty good. And then what am I doing? Here, let's look at the inside here. So basically, I just have those hoppers are connected to these droppers. So I've got 4 on one side and 8 on the other side. You don't need this many. Again, probably 6 is enough in there. But if you really want to do this more lag friendly, I would put the storage system directly below. I would still put it into water because here I'll show you the storage system over here. Mine is just barely big enough to handle this. If I were, would probably be better. Here, I'll show you what I got going on. You need 2 different storage systems, or what are they called? Sorters. 2 different item sorter systems. You just need 1 for ingots, which is right here. There we go. 1 for ingots. I have 2 for 2 for the gold nuggets, which is enough, but a third would probably be a little bit better. And then you want 3 for the rotten flesh, and then all of the rotten flesh you just want to put into droppers that destroy them. Then you put them into a cactus, or I use lava just because lava's cool. So all of the rotten flesh goes into lava. Just so you know, this is Impulse SV's system. This is Silentwhisperer's system. as much as Silentwhisperer swears by his system, it doesn't actually work any better than Impulses, as far as I can tell. This thing bleeds items through all the time. So basically, the way this works is items they come up this. There's the item elevator, and they go across this, and they go into the item filters, and it filters them into the storage system. And then this is the kind of the overflow area. So all the swords go in here, and then anything that was not picked up by the item sorters. Which, if you have the number I have, it's enough. Like I said, one more for golden nuggets would probably be a little bit better. It would make this run a little bit smoother. And then so this is a once they go into that one, items build up in this, and it puts them through this chain one at a time. So this is our one hopper speed item sorter. And then again, I'm taking out one. I have one for the gold ingots, one for the nuggets, and then one for the rotten flesh. And that one again throws the rotten flesh into lava. Then here's the beauty here. This is a now. Because, like I said, this doesn't work perfectly, there is still some items do bleed through this, just probably because it's so laggy. And then I have a dropper at the end that takes any items that don't get filtered out, and it throws them into lava. However, before that, we have our last item filter, which is this is a unstackable item filter. So any unstackable items that go in this hopper, it unlocks the one below it, and then that can take the swords out. Now, if the sword system backs up completely, this item hopper will back up all the way with swords. You'll see 5 of them, and then that will break this system, and it will no longer function properly. So you have to have enough blast furnaces, which for the most part you need one more blast furnace than the number of portals you have running. Or you might want to do 2 just to be safe. And by the way, with this kill chamber here, this trident killer, I have 7 impaling tridents in there. 6 is probably enough, but I have 7 in there. You can't do that with every farm, but with this one you can. So you just need double wide walls all over the place. That way the piglins don't glitch through the walls. And the tridents will cause them to be a little bit more glitchy. So and here I do have these in place. These keep them from glitching through this part of the wall. And it lets me see the red arrow, which tells me that the trident killer is in fact working. Because, there's been times where I thought it was on, but it wasn't, because I play with my sound off, and then and then my game completely just implodes because I have like so many entities in there without the trident killer on. So I like to be able to see the red arrow glow and light up while the trident killer's on. Now, if I move away from my AFK spot, then the zombie children will just. I've seen like 6 or 7 of them just shoot through this wall right here, just glitch right through all at once. So it can get hairy sometimes. That's why I always wear a chest plate, and I have resistance 2 and regeneration and thorns on all of my gear. Did not mean to do that anyway. Because that way, even if I'm AFK, if something happens, mobs will all kill themselves trying to kill me, and I won't die. I've never died while AFK because of that. Now we will look at our storage system back here. This is the other side. So, yeah, so the ingots go into this chest, and then it goes down to here. So there's a second double chest and a third. So it never really fills up the third double chest. It's not even going to fill the second one. This is the overflow, so that's this is the single hopper speed sorters, and this is completely full on the little nuggets here, and it's got a few ingots that bled through, that made it through this item sorter on this side, the water item sorter. And then this is completely full. I was AFKing for 12 hours, so yeah, these all filled up completely. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, that's a lot of double chests of gold nuggets. Now this system with the five portals, this runs at 330 gold blocks per hour. So just a little over 5 stacks per hour. In fact, that's pretty much how it works. Is you get a little bit more than a stack for every portal that you have lighting and unlighting at the same time. And then these are from smelting swords. So 3, 4 double chests and all the hoppers. And yeah, that's even full too. Okay. Same thing with this one. This one is 3/4 full. And then this one is not that full at all. This is just my like overflow sword smelter. This is just to make sure that there's a little bit of extra space to smelt the swords. That way the sorter, the unstackable item sorter, never backs up completely. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break all these chests with my axe, and then I have crafting tables everywhere. There, I've got a crafting table here. I've got crafting tables everywhere so I can break all these chests, which puts all the gold on the ground, and then I just smelt it into blocks. Or not smelt it into blocks, I craft it into blocks. And by the way, if you look at my level, I'm 621. I was level 300 in my last video, which was just a couple days ago. So I got about 300 levels from AFKing at the gold farm for 12 hours, which is really good. It's probably one of the fastest ways to level, except for, you know, that's not what I meant to do. Except for the, you know, the infinite, here, glass on me, I guess. Cool. The infinite smelter XP is still a little bit better, but actually takes effort to. You have to actually sit there and pull things out. To do 300 levels would probably take, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. So, it's nice. Anyway, the infinite smelter is a bug, so it's nice that this is not a bug. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to see you in just a couple minutes. Wishbone812 here with another little tidbit, couple of tips that you might need to know. Sorry for interrupting this video, by the way. All right, 3 things. First of all, I'm going to go outside here. And regarding the way this farm works is called portal ticking. So basically, every time you update a portal or turn it back on, there's a chance for it to spawn a piglin. Based off of how many portal blocks there are. So these are the maximum size portal. There's 21 obsidian on the bottom, 21 obsidian on the top. And also the chance to spawn has to do with difficulty. So you want to set your difficulty to hard while you're running a gold farm like this. Okay. And then third thing is, if you leave your AFK spot like I just did, and you're killing lots of piglins, what happens is you start getting so many XP orbs that you lag out your round. So see how laggy this is? The moment I get the XP orbs, it becomes less laggy. All right, and back to our video. All right, guys, welcome back. So it took me about 45 minutes to break all these chests, craft all the gold blocks, and then put them all back in the right places. And this is what we have. So this is roughly, 3,600 gold blocks. And so either my AFK session was only about 11 hours, or the last hour I just was having items despawn. So it could have been either one of those or a combination of the two, because I have done several tests on this, and it does run at 330 gold blocks per hour. So there you go. It's pretty nice. I also have these two already as well, but those I already had. And now you should be hearing these iron golems dying. This is an iron farm. And I'm going to show you how to make one like this, a trading hall iron farm, if you want to do one, because they are really cool. Obviously, you need a trading hall. They're just super important because of the books. I put signs on them. So this guy sells Smite 4, Protection 4, Efficiency 4, Looting, Sharpness 5, good stuff. The ones you really want, I'll show you the most important ones. They're right here. Boom. Mending and Impaling 5 are both really important. I was very fortunate to have a guy that sells both of them. And you want to do a raid farm. Silentwhisperer has one in his channel that works really well. You want Unbreaking 3. That's really important. And then I also have enough of these guys that I can get one of each of these, different types of diamond armor. So I can just make sets of diamond armor. And if I get, I'm not really too, I didn't like break these over and over and over and then to check to see what kind of armor they had. Though if you do have bedrock tweaks like me, you even a level 1 villager, you can see all of their trades. Let me see if I have an example of that. I think I have a guy somewhere whose trades aren't all unlocked, but I can see all of them. Oh, which one of my people is it? Not you. Oh yeah, it is him. Okay, so yeah, see, he's a level 1 librarian, as you can see, but I can see all of his trades. That's one of the things you can do with bedrock tweaks. You can get that as part of your resource pack. So you can see the trades that are not unlocked yet. But anyway, I pretty much have librarians for every enchantment that has a use, except for Aqua Affinity. But the helmets I buy from these guys down here have Aqua Affinity on them, so I don't really need that. And yeah, so I would suggest for Trading Hall, if you want, you can put them on honey, and then they won't jump up and down. I didn't know about that till I already had this whole thing constructed. But yeah, if you put them on honey, they won't jump up and down, which is nice. Then you wouldn't have to mess around with blocks like I have over here. You wouldn't need these, which kind of, I might go through and put honey under all the guys' feet so that I can remove those blocks so that it's not as ugly. Another thing you need to know, here's the most important thing you really need to know to make this also an iron farm. So this is Silentwhisperer's iron farm, but instead of having, he has all the villagers in like a little box on the corner, but instead of having them all in the box, I have them underneath. However, in order to link to beds, one villager must be in range of the beds. So as long as one villager is, all the villagers can see the beds because one villager can. So if I went and killed this guy, none of the villagers would be in range of the beds because they have to be within three blocks, vertically speaking, to link to a bed. So, but because this guy's alive, all of my villagers that are in his village can see the beds, they can find the beds, and they can link to them. So that guy, you have to have one guy in range of all the beds. So there's 20 beds. His farm is basically this platform, the beds that platform. I added 20 more beds on top of that, just so I could have more villagers. And that is how this works. So I have, nope. I have a bunch of emeralds right there. Oh, look at those zombies. They just want to get my villagers. Anyway, I have all these emeralds, so I can just buy books. And then I have a bunch of villagers, masons that sell quartz. And I know most people don't like the polished diorite, but I do. So most of my masons sell both diorite and quartz. I just re-rolled them over and over until I got what I wanted from them. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's basically what you do when you get a new villager. You just make sure he doesn't have a green coat, because the green coats are nitwits. You have to kill them. And then you just re-roll them over and over and over. Stick them in little cages like this, and then you trade with them. I think that's all you really need to know. Yeah, anvils are great. Build a raid farm. Oh, yeah. You want an item sorter underneath the output. So here's the iron from this. And this most of this iron, most of the ingots is from AFKing the last 12 hours. And then it's string, which again, you can use a string for the make scaffolding. And the other really good thing to use to get lots and lots of string, which you'll need to make candles in the next update, is the piglin bartering farm. I probably have just an absolutely ridiculous amount of string from the piglin bartering farm. Oh yes, next video I'm going to give advice on making sets of armor. So yeah, shockingly, you want thorns 3. I don't care what anyone else says. You really want thorns 3 in your armor. That way you can AFK, and if something goes wrong, mobs will kill themselves on you instead of killing you. So I think this is everything. I got pretty much all the components for my gold farm that you'll need to know about to build your gold farm. I showed pretty much everything. This is the iron farm trading hall. This does not run quite as good as a normal trading hall, or a normal iron farm, sorry, because these guys. 2 reasons. I think that these do unlink from the beds more commonly than normal. And then sometimes that causes the iron golems to stop spawning for a little bit. And then the other reason why this is not quite as good as a normal iron farm is because it's because the librarians, their workstation will turn off in the rain. So yeah, just so you know. But it like obviously it works, well enough. This is more iron than you'll ever need in your life, unless you're building a superstructure out of iron. And I do have another shulker box of iron, and obviously there's iron everywhere. I reconstructed this whole thing out of iron just to make it look cooler at one point. So, and yeah, because I have 40 beds, that means I can have up to 4 iron golems at a time. That does not very commonly happen, but it happens sometimes. So with the spawn rates and everything, it still doesn't quite work as fast as a normal iron farm just because of the things I mentioned before, but it works good enough. So I would definitely suggest doing this with the trading hall rather than having your standard iron farm with people in boxes, just because you can do both at the same time. And you can stick a gold farm next to it like me, and then you'll have... This will run while you're AFKing your gold farm, which is really cool. But I think that is really everything. As far as villagers are concerned, if you want to build with quartz and stuff, they can give stonemasons are great, which is nice. Also, if you I kept it like the polished andesite or whatever. These guys are really good. If you don't have a raid farm, you can take all of you can actually store the rotten flesh and trade with them until you make a raid farm. But really, at the time it takes to constantly trade with them, you could just build a raid farm and then have infinite emeralds. Just to get more lapis whenever I need it. And yeah, these guys, you want to have really good books. Pretty much all the important ones. Okay, I think that does it for me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and like and subscribe if you learned anything. And you guys have a nice day.